from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's America's favorite gun-toting, Bible-clinging, deplorable American.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Todd Starnes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm so frustrated right now, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, welcome to the Todd Starnes radio program. Great to have you with us, border to border, coast to coast, across the fruited plain. So look, we knew this was going to happen. So the primary in California was on Tuesday. They are still counting ballots, and they say now it could be as long as another week before all of the official vote totals are in. But what I find very interesting in all of this process is that all of the votes that are still out there, that they are still counting, seem to be only benefiting Democrat candidates across the board. And that has President Trump very concerned. As a matter of fact, last night, President Trump out there saying, hey, look, Democrats are trying to steal the election in California. And you know what? The president has a pretty good point here. So, again, this is why voting integrity, making sure that every vote is counted and making sure that only American citizens are voting, it is so vitally important. So, look, we have a very special guest with us to start off the program today, and she is making this a priority, a mission up on Capitol Hill. Our good friend, Senator Marsha Blackburn, introducing legislation to incentivize every state to submit voter rolls to the Department of Homeland Security. Senator Blackburn, good to have you with us today.
I'm delighted to join you, and you are exactly right. Everybody needs to exercise election integrity in their states, and of course in Tennessee, we're ranked as number one in election integrity. But as we're seeing play out in California, that is not what is happening, and you're so right. The votes that are coming in late, they're only seeming to benefit the Democrat candidates.
You know, Senator, to that point in Tennessee, I've been so impressed with how secure our elections are. You know, I know all of the people at our local, wherever I go to vote on election day, and they all know me. And the last election, I walked up and they said, "Hello, Mr. Starnes, how you doing?" I said, "Fine, I'm here to vote." They say, "We need to see your ID, please." As silly as that sounds, but it really is important. Everybody should be able to show an ID, and we need to make sure that the people are voting who have a right to vote.
That's exactly right. And we want to make certain that we pass Save America. And Todd, Save America means you show an ID when you vote, and that to register to vote, you have to be a citizen. Now, my legislation that you mentioned would incentivize the states to check their voter rolls against the Saved Registry, which is the registry that the Department of Homeland Security takes. And it includes people that are in the country legally and illegal, people that have work permits, people that have visas, people that are permanent residents. But the thing is, they are not entitled to vote. Right now, only 26 states will check their voter rolls against the SAFE list. So we're going to incent that. This is one of the ways we are working to pass the Save America Act piece by piece. And if that's what it takes to get it done, that is what we're going to do. We're determined to get this over the finish line.
You know, Senator, again, looking at, and you point this out, that 80% of the American people, more than 80%, they want to eliminate voter fraud. And I got to tell you, you're right. You're reading the room here, because people are very frustrated and they are fed up with the lack of an action up on Capitol Hill.
Well, they are indeed. And I will say this. The Senate was in session 44 out of 52 weeks last year. We took more votes than any Senate in history, and we passed and confirmed more of the presidential nominees than any Senate has ever done in a president's first year. And this year, we've been here more than the House this year. And we're working away because we're in the personnel as well as the legislative business. And then you have these bills like Save America Act, and unfortunately, right now we do not have 50 votes in the Senate to get that passed on the floor. We continue to work to get the votes to pass this. And as I said, since we couldn't get 50 votes, what those of us that are conservatives, the conservatives in the Senate are called the steering committee. And I'm on the executive committee for steering committee. And it's names you're familiar with, Ted Cruz and Mike Lee. Rick Scott is our chairman. Ron Johnson is on there, Cynthia Lummis. And we meet every Monday night. And we've been trying for 3 years to get Save America passed. And so now we're at about 47 votes. So we're continuing to push. We're also looking at maybe we take one section, then another, and try to pass it and see if we can get to 50 votes so the vice president can come in and be the final vote.
Senator, is it frustrating for the conservatives in the Senate when they see folks like Senator Cassidy, Tillis, and now John Cornyn and others? It seems as though now this is really more about settling scores with the president as opposed to doing what the people of America want the Senate to do.
Well, and 83% of the American public supports Save America. They see this as just good common sense, that you have to be a citizen to vote. I don't know of any other country that lets people who are not citizens vote in their elections. And many states require you to show a photo ID. Not all states, and of course the blue states don't do that. But we are determined that we are going to find a way to get this across the finish line. We have to. It's important to do. And election integrity is so important. And I think people watching what's taking place out in California, where you've got a Republican that came in number one when the polls had closed, we'll see how that ends up. And then in the mayor's race, you've got a Republican that came in at number two. So we want to be certain these candidates advance to November, and we want to make certain that the people that are voting in that LA mayor's race, in that governor's race, and indeed in all the races across the country are actually able to vote, that they are citizens, that they are registered to vote. So, yes, indeed, we are hanging in here with it, and we are a determined bunch.
Well, look, for me personally, it's exciting to see the Republicans out there, and some of the numbers are just really remarkable. The lieutenant governor, the person right now in the lead, Gloria Romero, who is actually a Republican, former Democrat, left the party, became a Republican, and she's leading the pack there. So I think, again, it's too early to say if there's a conservative resurgence in California. But I think that bodes well for what could happen with the Republicans in the midterm elections. What do you think about that?
Oh, I do too. When I talk to Tennesseans, which is every single day, they talk a lot about they want to get the price at the pump down. They know that the economy is basically healthy. A lot of people are talking to us about they had smaller tax bills or larger refunds this year because of the working families tax cuts. A lot of seniors have called our office. They are so grateful for the $6,000 bonus deduction that I achieved for seniors. Basically, that takes the tax off your Social Security. And 68% of the seniors that took that deduction this year, and there were 35 million that did, and Todd, 68% have incomes under $100,000. So significant there. People are also talking a lot about their hopefulness, what we're doing with fraud and the way we're going after fraud. And indeed, you had A.G. Blanche and Kash Patel, who did a press conference this morning with Dr. Oz. They have found another massive fraud ring linked primarily through the Somali community in Ohio, and they are defrauding home care networks. And, Todd, this really, I think what we have to keep in mind is that Doge showed us where these anomalies were. And now President Trump's administration, Vice President Vance, with the fraud unit over at DOJ, they are going after this, and they are able to go in here now and dig a little deeper and root this out and bring it forward. These people are going to be prosecuted. The prosecutions in Minnesota started last week. The prosecutions in California are getting ready to begin. This is something you're going to see happen. That money needs to be returned to the taxpayer. And my legislation, the Fraud Accountability Act, will require anyone who is in this country, legally, illegally, and that they may be on a visa work permit, but if they defraud U.S. citizens or local, state, and federal governments, all the way to $1 of fraud, that will trigger a denaturalization and deportation hearing.
I love it. I mean, it's all very practical, common sense legislation. Senator, we're going to have to let you go. I do want to give, remind our listeners, you are running to be the next governor of Tennessee. You're just crushing the competition in the polls. The other two guys are like going at it like cats and dogs over who's the real Tennessean. Meanwhile, I can't help but notice you're out there, boots on the ground, talking to Tennesseans.
Well, that's exactly right. We are working hard every single day, and we don't take anything for granted, and working hard to represent Tennesseans in the U.S. Senate and working hard to earn their vote as we go through the governor's race. All
right. Senator Marsha Blackburn, soon to be Governor Marsha Blackburn, but we'll save that for another day. Senator, always good talking to you. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Great lady right there. Great lawmaker. And she is really a force to be reckoned with in the U.S. Senate. All right. We've got to take a break here, folks. And again, a lot of breaking news to share with you today. A lot of stuff coming out on more fraud. You heard the senator mentioning that in Ohio. But I'm telling you right now, we have got a big problem on our hands. President Trump really upset over what's happening in California right now. And I'm wondering, ladies and gentlemen, what is the solution? How do we tackle the steal that is underway? It is a slow-moving steal at the ballot box in California. Our telephone number, 901-260-5926. Again, that's 901-260-5926. This is The Todd Starnes Show.
You're listening to Todd Starnes.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. I realize there are many choices when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service, and there are new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that's Patriot Mobile. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile's been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the hundreds of thousands of Americans who've made the switch and are now supporting causes they believe in simply by joining Patriot Mobile. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Patriot Mobile's all U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today.
At a time when technology is often used to distort the truth, there's a new tool that's actually getting it right. My Faith Assistant is a Bible-based AI designed to help you understand God's Word and grow spiritually. Unlike generic AI tools that give vague or unbiblical answers, My Faith Assistant is anchored in Scripture, built on seminary-level resources, and shaped by more than 50 years of trusted teaching from Dr. Michael Youssef. And it's free, no login required. Try it today at myfaithassistant.com.
America has a new choice for fair and balanced news. ToddStarnes.com. Journalism you can trust from some of the best reporters and opinion writers in the business. ToddStarnes.com takes you to the front lines of the culture war, defending faith, freedom, and your family. ToddStarnes.com also features exclusive interviews with America's top newsmakers like Mike Huckabee, Franklin Graham, and Newt Gingrich. Find out why millions of Americans read ToddStarnes.com every day. It's news you can trust. ToddStarnes.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah,
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga. My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
"I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong."
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Stearns Radio Show, and such an honor to have you with us. And again, the news coming out yesterday, Talkers Magazine naming us one of the top talk radio programs in America on their list of the 100, heavy 100, as they call them, talkers in America. We're number 21, and we certainly thank all of our great listeners, you guys, for making that happen, and also all of our great radio affiliates across the nation. So, look, there is a very weird story happening and unfolding in New York State. Want to share this with you. This is a headline from the New York Post. Democrats in Albany, the state capital, are replacing the words mother and father in official court and government documents. Now, this has already gone through the legislature, and it's awaiting signature by Governor Kathy Hochul, who is a Democrat. The bill erases terms like mother and father from, for example, child custody and parental law, and instead they're going with new gender-neutral writing. The word mother would be replaced with gestating parent, And the word father would become non-gestating parent or just simply parent in all family court documents, including in domestic and education law. And again, the Democrats have already passed this. They're just waiting for Governor Kathy Hochul, and she's a whack job. So they're just waiting for her to sign this into legislation. Now, paternity proceedings to determine a child's biological father would become parentage cases. So they're even doing away with the term parent. The bill was rammed through the Assembly in March and in the Senate this week. A putative father, also known as a deadbeat dad, would now be called an alleged parent in official court documents. The bill was sponsored by far leftist lawmakers from the Bronx and Westchester, New York. Assemblywoman Amy Paulin. By the way, do we have to call her a gestating assembly person? What do we do there? And Senator Luis Sepulveda from the Bronx, both Democrats. I know that's sort of figured that out already. One state conservative lawmaker, Gerald Kasser, who previously served in the Senate, now runs the Conservative Party, says it's woke culture run amok. It's one-upmanship or one gestation personship. I don't know. It's going to be it's really wordy. It's an example of how out of tune the New York legislature is. It's an unnecessary and wasteful use of time. He said the gender-neutral bill is likely to lead to a stampede of others and called state lawmakers backwards. By the way, they're almost 2 months late in passing a state budget in New York, and the reason why is they're trying to figure out what a woman is. This is insane. But ladies and gentlemen, again, this is all a part of an effort, and it's really a nefarious effort to really deconstruct the nuclear family. We had Governor Mike Braun from Indiana on the Newsmax show this week, and the governor declaring the month of June not Pride Month, but Nuclear Family Month. So that's what this is. They want to strip down language like mom and dad, mother and father into gestating and non-gestating parents. Gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman is also weighing in. He's running on the Republican side of the aisle. He says Governor Kathy Hochul has continued her declaration of war on New York families by canceling the loving terms of mom and dad and replacing them with gestating and non-gestating parent. No, Dylan, I don't know. No, I don't think they can say that. They can't say appendage and non-appendage parents. They can't do that. That's Republicans who voted against the Democratic-sponsored bill called it outrageous. Senator Patricia Fitzpatrick of Nassau, New York, says this is not what families are asking for. I am a mother and proud to be called a mother. But I got to tell you, they got some mothers in the State House, and they're not mothers, if you know what I mean. They're mothers. I hope you followed that. Anyway, 901-260-5926. What say you, all you moms out there, would you rather be called gestating parents? 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Stern Show.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go! Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fan favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Great if life came with a remote control. You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control.
Yikes!
So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Many college grads are anti-capitalist activists, so if you're a business owner, how do you find new employees who won't destroy your business? Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and that's where Red Balloon comes in. They're America's #1 pro-freedom job board, and they're shaking up the hiring world by focusing on values and mission-aligned talent. Now, there are two ways Red Balloon can help. You can post your job on their national job board. Over 20,000 people visit every week, or you can hire Red Balloon Recruiter for a more customized talent search. Now, the Recruiter team is really fantastic. They start by learning your workplace culture and writing a custom job posting, and then they source and screen candidates from their national database. Their team conducts first interviews, and you get alerts when they find highly qualified candidates. And Red Balloon delivers these high-quality results at a fraction of traditional corporate recruiter prices. People are saying Red Balloon is a game changer. So check them out today, redballoon.work. Use the promo code STARNS and save $100 on Recruiter.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Starnes Radio Show. Happy to have you with us today. So let's talk about California for just a minute here, and it's really insane, just truly insane when you look at what's happening. And this is really a slow-moving steel. That's what's going on here. And you're looking at Democrats. And they, right now, the Democrats control everything in California, so they're the ones controlling the vote. and they know exactly how many votes they now need to overcome the Republicans in not just the Los Angeles mayor's race, but now you've got the gubernatorial race. You've got all of these congressional races. We told you yesterday, as the numbers stood yesterday, that the Republicans were actually holding their own in these newly redistricted areas of California. Democrats had expected to destroy 5 Republican congressional seats, and at least one of them, right now, at least one of them has been saved. But again, that all may change as a result of the ballots. We still have they've got about 40% of the vote that still has to be counted in California. And of course, all of their rules were changed when it comes to voting and when it comes to the mail-in ballots. All of that changed during the COVID year. So this is something relatively new. But what it will do, it gives Democrats a rock-solid guarantee that they will always win their elections. It is nothing more than stealing. And President Trump is absolutely right to call it out. So the question now is, how do you fix it? Well, you fix it by passing the Save America Act. But the Senate's not going to do that. They're not going to. You heard Marshall Blackburn. They don't even have the numbers. I mean, that's just insane. So now Steve Bannon is on the warpath. And just a little while ago, Bannon saying, hey, we're not going to win. We're not going to win here. Take a listen.
Bottom line, to the U.S. Senate, to all the donors, to Stephen Law and all those phony funds that put in, the $150 million you burned in Texas trying to destroy the grassroots and Ken Paxton, this is just a taste of what's in store. You're going to lose the Senate. We're telling everybody to put their frickin' pencils down in North Carolina, in Maine, in Ohio, all of it, Michigan. You want to play hardball? We'll say, hey, look. It's just as bad having Democrats in charge. So let's just have Democrats in charge. Let's stop with the phony pretensions that you are MAGA. You're only there because of Donald John Trump. He put you there, okay? If you want to challenge him now, fine. MAGA will sit there and go, screw you. We don't care if we lose Georgia, North Carolina, Maine, Michigan, Ohio, Kansas, Alaska. Screw you.
Bannon's fired up here, and look, we're looking at these same numbers as well. Is it time to pull the fire alarm here? I mean, we've still got months before the election, but the fact of the matter is, I think, and I want to play some more. We've got some more Bannon audio here, and he flushes all of this out. Take a listen.
Wrap this up, because now it has to be a showdown. Here's the reason. We're going to lose the Senate in the fall anyway. No grassroots leader, none of the grassroots phalanx, the hoplites. Nobody's excited about going door to door and doing voter engagement, as Caroline knows more than anybody. The old way of putting a couple $100 million in and buying TV ads on Fox and CNN doesn't work anymore. That's old school. Does not work. There's been a new day, and the Senate's got to understand that, or we're going to lose the Senate. There's no enthusiasm for going door to door, having voter engagements, canvassing to actually lead to victory. Those people are out there, and it can be done. Texas shows you that. Virginia shows you that.
All right, there you go. We have much better bumper music than Bannon does. So look, Bannon's not wrong about any of this. As a matter of fact, there's a new Fox poll out. North Carolina, it's going to be a long slog for Republicans there, and Roy Cooper, former popular Democrat governor, seems to be gaining ground. Well, it's not that he's gaining ground; it's just that the Republicans are just not really enthusiastic about what they've got to work with out there. Look, the same thing is happening in Georgia. Matt Towery was on Hannity this week, and he's saying, look, he's really concerned about all of you folks in Georgia and the turnout, where the Democrats really turned out in big numbers in the primary. Matt Towery says that is a problem. So as it now stands, and then we've got the runoff coming up very soon, Derek Dooley, that's getting ugly. But again, will that be a motivating factor for Republicans to get out and vote? It's a fair question to ask. This is the headline from Yahoo. MAGA pollster admits big problem for Trump on Fox News. Matt Towery, who, by the way, one of the best pollsters out there. We've had Matt on the show quite a bit, and we're working to get him back on the show to talk about this. He says he is concerned about declining support for the Republican Party ahead of the midterms. Towery is a former member of the Georgia House of Representatives and has been one of the president's biggest supporters. His polling firm was among the few that correctly forecast Trump's victory over Hillary Clinton in 2016, and 4 years later, he predicted a win for Trump again, arguing that many pollsters were overlooking the average guy on the street. But it seems that Towery is now losing faith in Trump's ability to win over voters. In the interview on Fox News, Sean Hannity asked Towery which states he believed could offer the GOP its best pickup opportunities. Towery said too early to say, but he said it is very concerning, and that is the Republican turnout. He went on to cite data from May's primary election in Georgia, which Trump took from the Democrats by just 2 points. Early voting data shows Democrats turned out 150,000 more early voters than Republicans. That is a shift from the previous midterm cycle when Republicans held an advantage in early voting turnout. Towery says this is not a good sign. So there you go. That is Georgia. Also, Iowa there's scuttlebutt in Iowa that Democrats are gaining ground there, and the Democrats could, in fact, and we talked to Jeff Stein about this yesterday from KXEL in Waterloo, is that in Iowa, the Democrats there are really energized, and they feel like they can pick off a Senate seat there. Now, you say, Todd, what about Maine with the Nazi guy and the pervert? Well, he's probably going to have to drop out. But Janet Mills is still technically in the race. She has suspended her campaign. She hasn't ended her campaign. And there could be a chance here for Democrats to mobilize around Janet Mills and try to stage some sort of a big comeback. So when you look at places like Georgia and North Carolina and Maine and Ohio and Iowa, Steve Bannon is not wrong. There is a concern that the Democrats could, in fact, retake the Senate. Now, hear me on this. It's also a possibility in the House of Representatives. So I think the challenge here is twofold. Number one, it's the war that will not end. And now the administration is to the point of having to define what a ceasefire is. And I helped the administration out yesterday. I wrote the definition. If the other side is firing missiles at you, it is not a ceasefire. And yet they still can't come up with a good working definition of ceasefire. The war is going to go on. It's a big mess. And they're not even calling it a war now. That's the other issue, is they're not calling it a war. They're calling it, a skirmish, a conflict. When you start playing word games, folks, you're losing the argument. And maybe the argument's already been lost. But I think one of the challenges is going to be trying to get the base of the party just mobilized and energized. Because in all honesty, Congress really hasn't done all that much to say they deserve another shot at this. The only reason we have to let the Republicans, we've got to get them in there, is to stop them from impeaching President Trump. And that will happen. And it will be ugly. All right, 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. We've got to take a break. We're going to your calls. By the way, this segment of the program brought to you by My Faith Assistant, a Bible-based tool that is redeeming AI, and it's going viral. And, folks, the best part about it all, it is free of charge. That's right. MyFaithAssistant.com is the website. That's MyFaithAssistant.com, brought to you by our good friend, Dr. Michael Youssef. Dr. Youssef has spent more than 50 years teaching the Bible. He is a trusted pastor and scholar and cultural anthropologist. And My Faith Assistant is a Bible-anchored, theologically vetted tool built on scripture and seminary-level resources. I did this the other day. I went to My Faith Assistant. What does the Bible say about aliens, extraterrestrials? And I got an answer, and it was all Bible-based. So I want you to go and check it out, myfaithassistant.com. They don't ask for your email. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's a wonderful, useful tool. I use it every single day, and you're going to use it as well. MyFaithAssistant.com. We'll be right back.
Truth and nothing but the truth. You're listening to Todd Starnes.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and you know what's sad? How many people spend the entire summer trying to hide, wearing black in 95-degree weather, avoiding the pool, dodging pictures, trying to suck it in everywhere they go? And listen, that's not vanity. That's just not feeling comfortable in your own body anymore. Look, I've been there myself, and that's one reason Calotren made such a difference for me, because it wasn't some extreme plan that I couldn't stick to. It was simple, taken at night, and it finally helped my body start working with me instead of against me, and I've lost a lot of weight.
That's why so many people stay on Calotren, Todd. They're sleeping better, they have more energy, their cravings calm down, and their weight loss finally starts feeling doable. I've lost over 40 pounds myself with Calotren, and honestly, summer feels completely different when you can actually feel good again.
Don't spend another summer hiding. Right now, during the Don't Hide This Summer event, get $40 off the proven 90-day supply at toploss.com or call 800-325-4366. Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year, and they're looking to make 2026 the best year yet. And as a thank you to my listeners, MyPillow is offering exclusive free shipping on your entire order at wholesale pricing. That means they're bringing back the mega sale exclusively for my listeners. For example, the classic My Pillows, normally $49.98, now marked down to only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the made in the USA My Pillow My Mattress Topper. Save up to $100. Get a set of My Pillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code STARNS. Or give them a call, 800-839-8506. These offers won't last long, so call now, 800-839-8506, or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code STARNS. Order now, and your entire order ships free.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours. At any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Well, no, look, I don't believe the issue is Donald Trump at all. Donald Trump is delivering on all of his campaign promises. I think the issue here is strictly the Congress, and we are going to, even if the Republicans do win in the fall, I have no doubt that they are going to be a thorn in the president's side, and especially in the last half of his final term in the White House, because they know that they're going to still be around and the president's not. And that's how I'm telling you, that's how that's going to play out. I want to play some audio here, going back to the story out of New York State, where the governor is set to outlaw the terms mother and father. Cut 35.
Kathy Hochul signs this bill sitting on her desk. A new law will make it illegal to call them mother and father. Nate Foy has the details on this. Nate?
Hey, Jackie. So, yeah, New York Democrats argue the words mother and father are outdated and need to be replaced with more inclusive terms under state law. All that's needed now is Governor Kathy Hochul's signature. So if Hochul approves, in New York's family court and in domestic and education law, a mother would be labeled as a gestating parent, a father as a non-gestating parent, and paternity proceedings to determine the child's father would be called parentage proceedings. The bill passed the state Senate this week and the state assembly back in March. Governor Hochul proudly calls herself New York's first mom governor. It's unclear if she'll support this change, though.
I'm not familiar with what was introduced late last night, so I'll take a look at it. I have until the end of the year to review them and make a decision, so I won't be commenting on pending legislation.
New York would join other states like Massachusetts, California, Connecticut, and Colorado to change the definition and wording of parents in their state laws. Democrats argue the bill is necessary to accommodate surrogacy cases and same-sex couples. Now, Governor Hochul's up for re-election this year. Her main challenger, Republican Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, tells Fox this morning this bill is a continuation of war declared on families by Democrats.
All right, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a war on the family that's currently underway in New York State. By the way, Reading Rainbow, we have another story out of PBS. You know, first of all, they were going after Sesame Street, because Sesame Street has gone gay. And now Reading Rainbow has gone gay. Now, back when I was a kid, this is how old Reading Rainbow is. When I was a kid, Reading Rainbow was heterosexual. And, I mean, it was still, back in that time period, I think the rainbow was all about the rainbow was about God's promise to the world after the big flood. Or maybe, I don't know, if you enjoyed the cereals, what is it, the Tricks? They're magically delicious.
Lucky Charms.
Thank you. Lucky Charms, yeah. Dylan. Thank you.
You're close.
One of them's the rabbit and the other is the leprechaun or something.
Yeah. It's in the ballpark.
And what's the other one? The parrot? No, the toucan.
Yeah, the toucan. Fruity Pebbles.
No, Fruit Loops.
Whatever.
Yeah, Fruit Loops.
I don't eat cereal.
Fruity Pebbles is like the that was the Flintstones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was over in the West Hollywood section of Bedrock, if you
exactly.
will. That's where those Fruity Pebbles are. So now Reading Rainbow, again, was heterosexual back when I was a kid. Now they are introducing a series of books to celebrate Pride Month. These are all for small children. One is two black dudes, and they got a black baby called It's Pride Baby. Another has some sort of a child on the front. It's Not He or She, I'm Me, for ages 3 to 6. Here's another one. Family is Family. And it's got, I don't know, there's something, it's based on a farm, and it's got two, I think those are roosters. So the roosters had a chick together, if I'm reading the story correct. It's called Family is Family, and it's got two roosters and a baby chick, ages 3 through 7. This is what they want your kids to read. Oh, here we go. Another one is called Marley's Pride, which is a black-themed LGBT book for ages 3 through 9. Another is called Circle of Love, which has a bunch of women. So this is lesbian-centric material for children, girls, ages 4 through 8, called Circle of Love. Another one is, looks like a gay boy. It says Leo and the Pink Marker. Ages 4 through 8. Are you picking up here on what's going on? Oh, there's more. 2 Lebanese women. Oh, one's got the tats. She's got the tat sleeve on the. Who will you be? and the little baby is in a rainbow-colored onesie. This is for children ages 4 through 8. Another has what looks to be an Indian lesbian version of Pocahontas called My Culture, My Gender, Me for ages 5 through 8. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Reading Rainbow on PBS, introducing children's books to celebrate Pride Month. You see what's going on here? They're literally grooming your children, and they're using TV to do it. It's insane. Got to pay attention, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas. 901-260-5926 is our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, during the break coming up, I want to encourage you to go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and pre-order a copy of my brand new book. It's called The Golden Age, How Trump Saved America. We are working on a TV special. I think we're heading out to California in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be taping a great TV special based on the book. And it is a call to arms for all freedom-loving Americans. We've got a country to save, and when Donald Trump leaves office, we're still going to have a lot of work to do. So that's why I wrote The Golden Age. It's a fun read. It's a pretty funny read, actually. We did an interview yesterday with Newsmax Magazine, and they're going to be featuring the book in their upcoming, I believe, July or August edition of the magazine. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I want you to get a copy. Get one also if you've got a teenager or a kid in college. Get them a copy of it as well. The Golden Age, How Trump Saved America, available at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walmart, Target, Amazon, wherever. All right, hang tight, everybody. Hour 2 coming up.
From fruits and veggies to fiber and spice, Balance of Nature supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a natural bodybuilder, so I know when something works and when something doesn't. I've tried so many different products. When I got your product, and like I said, I'm a natural bodybuilder. As soon as I got it, did them for a week, and I told my brother, I said, Rick, you need to try these. You know I won't give you nothing if it don't. He tried them, bam, the first day. He said, this is a good product. And I got my mom on them, and I'm trying to I just keep pushing your product. It's a great product. You're a great company, and everybody there I've talked to has been so kind. Great product. It does what it says it does.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and get this special offer by using discount code TODD. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a 70-year-old man. I'm not a young guy, and I'm an ex-athlete. Well, yeah, when I was taking it, I recognized that I was feeling better. You know what I'm saying? And just mentally knowing is important also.
I am a customer of you guys. I love your product. Love it, love it. Nothing but good things to say about your product. I love it. And as long as y'all are going to sell it, I'm going to take it as long as I can.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Hello, Americans. I'm Todd Starnes. Stand by for news and commentary next.
At a time when technology is often used to distort the truth, there's a new tool that's actually getting it right. My Faith Assistant is a Bible-based AI designed to help you understand God's Word and grow spiritually. Unlike generic AI tools that give vague or unbiblical answers, My Faith Assistant is anchored in Scripture, built on seminary-level resources, and shaped by more than 50 years of trusted teaching from Dr. Michael Youssef. And it's free, no login required. Try it today at myfaithassistant.com.
A shocking number of doctors, nurses, and others in the medical profession are posting online messages threatening to injure conservatives. And in many cases, they're hoping conservatives suffer violent injuries. A labor and delivery nurse at Baptist Health Boca Raton in Florida posted a video hoping Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt suffers medical complications during childbirth. In New York City, a pair of detectives were manhandled and denied treatment at NYC Langone Hospital in the Cobble Hill section of Brooklyn. The medical team thought the detectives worked for ICE. The hospital apologized, but former Mayor Eric Adams said it was a total moral collapse, and apologies are simply not good enough. Those working in hospitals swear an oath to care for their patients. Clearly, that oath has been violated. And now we have to wonder just how many patients were either denied treatment or given inadequate treatment simply because of their conservative political beliefs. I'm Todd Stearns.
The Todd Starnes Show begins in 4 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 2 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 1 minute.
from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's Common Sense Conservative Commentary from Todd Starnes.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Dylan, please tell me I did not hear what I thought I just heard.
Yeah, you did.
Did I just hear Ian the intern mocking our voice guy?
He was doing the exact voice line of the intro, yeah.
What? No.
Very loudly.
Yeah, no, I could hear it all the way in the studio.
I was trying to
what?
shush him.
I'm like, what happened to our voice guy? It sounds like I don't know, he's got a problem.
Yeah, I don't
A
know what's
medical
gotten into
condition.
Ian the intern lately. He's
All right, we've got to
rambunctious
work.
fellow.
Yeah, we've got to set down some rules for the interns.
I think so.
I mean, this is just out of control, man.
No mocking the voice guy.
Don't
Rule
mock
number
the
one.
voice. That's the voice of God.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, that's what we call it in the business. It's
Yeah.
the voice of God.
You don't ever see him, you just hear him.
He's omnipotent.
Yeah.
Yes, verily, verily. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hour 2 of the Todd Starnes Radio Show. Great to have you with us today. Write down our telephone number. You will need this if you plan on calling in. 901-260-5926 is our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. All right. I want to go right away to our Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. I'm excited to welcome back our good buddy Ryan Leonard, former president of the New York University Republicans, college Republicans, and now newly graduated, Ryan. So congratulations to you.
Yes, thank you so much.
So what was that experience like for you, doing the whole NYU? I know you're a conservative guy. I'm just wondering what possessed you to go to NYU as a conservative?
Yeah, and I've alluded to this before, but I've always strongly believed in the fact that we need to be infiltrating these liberal-ridden places. We need to be fighting back. We can't back away from places like this, the cities, the big schools. I think it's important to represent and to, not back down from these, places that are ran by liberals.
I think it's interesting. We were talking about this yesterday, just general attitudes about college. We went through a period of time going back to the Obama administration, and Barack Obama, I think, did a great disservice to the country, Ryan. Back during those days, he told America's young people, hey, look, if you don't go to college, you're not going to be able to claim your American dream. You're not going to be able to be a success in life. And so a lot of young people who were inspired or influenced by Barack Obama ended up going out there and getting college degrees that turned out to be worthless. And many of them are now, even now in debt and having to pay for those kinds of mistakes. And I'm wondering if you are seeing that today, as young people are beginning to wonder, hey, do I really need a college degree to be a success?
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. And I'm seeing all these people who are getting college degrees and who are getting out of college and having nothing to do with them. They didn't really have much of a plan, or they kind of just assumed that they would come out of college and, their life would begin, everything would be okay. And then they come out of college and they don't have anything lined up. Nothing's working. No one's hiring them. They're not getting the salary they want. A lot of people are coming out of college with really nothing to show for all these years and hundreds of thousands of dollars often they spent.
That's just insane. And I know you went to NYU. I have to imagine that was not exactly a cheap date.
True, not cheap at all.
Was it worth it? I mean, when you look back at your college experience.
I'm glad that I did it. But yeah, I mean, the return on investment has drastically declined for going to any school, especially one of these schools like NYU that's like 70,000 plus a year. I think it's not worth how much it costs. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I went through with it and finished college and everything, but it's really hard to justify this price.
Ryan Leonard joining us on our Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. And Ryan, we've been looking at a lot of polling data, especially among the young men in Generation Z, I would say the younger end of Gen Z. And Gallup has some new information out showing that when you compare young men and young women are overwhelmingly more interested in things like religion. which really I think is going to surprise a lot of people because that is not the way it's been. And I'm curious your take on that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of explanations for this. Part of this is just the gender divide and political attitudes as well. For men, it's become more normalized and more cool to be conservative. For women, it's become more cool to be progressive. There's a lot of things that go into this. I think one of the primary things is that men are just looking for more purpose. I think that men are struggling more, trying to find something that they can resonate with. I think that a lot of the changes in the culture that are a result of this more godless secular area benefit women more than they do men. For example, the new dating scene, the less, strictly socially enforced monogamy. Uh, a lot of young men are just really struggling to find love, find someone they can, get into a relationship. Whereas women have more options than ever and are really, being more successful in this kind of dating scene. So that's just one example of how this new modern age is kind of benefiting women more than it does men, and how men are really not doing as well, with this current state of affairs.
Ryan, I'm curious on the dating scene, especially among young Gen Zers. Are guys being more particular, especially when it comes to conservative guys? Are they being more particular with the kinds of girls they want to go out with?
I think you see this more with women being more particular, women having standards. This is something we've talked about before, but a lot of the guys will just be simps and, will put up with anything and will try to appease women and change their beliefs and hide their beliefs. I think that a lot of guys really struggle to have standards for themselves, whereas women will say, I won't date a guy if he's a Trump supporter or this and that. A lot of guys will just kind of go for anything and try to appease women in any way possible.
Okay, Dylan, why are you laughing right now? Hold on, Ryan. Dylan, what's going on here? Why
I haven't heard the word simp in a minute, so I'm glad that I'm glad that Ryan said that because it's true.
Ryan yesterday. Hold on, we've got to call Ryan out here. Yesterday on national TV, Ryan said he dropped the simp and he says you may not know what that is. And I'm like, "Oh, I know what it is."
It is a younger term.
How dare you question the host of the show, Ryan Leonard?
True, you are tapped in with the Gen Z culture. I didn't understand your ball knowledge, but I apologize.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Dylan, is that good? It's
yeah, if you have ball knowledge,
that's
good
as well.
Okay, good. I'm still trying to figure it all out. I don't want to be. Here's the thing, guys. I never want to be one of those guys that's like dropping the lingo and the language. And because that would make you look uncool, I think. So if you're trying too hard.
True.
I mean, if you don't know any of the lingo, that's fine. You are in a separate category. You have your own lingo. We have ours. You don't have to always understand.
Exactly. I don't know how many Gen Zers don't understand what Gisaloo means. It's really shocking, to be perfectly honest.
They should be educated.
Ryan Leonard joining us on the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker. Ryan, maybe this is what we need to do. Like, we bring you on once a week, and you can give us definitions of words because we have a pretty well-rounded audience, but some of the more seasoned listeners may not know what simp or dropping the T means.
True. Yeah, that can be my job.
Dylan, why are you laughing?
Now you sound like you're trying way too hard.
See, it's a fine line.
There is a line, yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, to this point, there's an interesting story in the New York Post. Teenage boys are choosing AI girlfriends over real-life relationships with apparently disastrous consequences. Now, it seems to me, if your dating life is so bad that even the AI girlfriend breaks up with you, I think you've got serious problems. But apparently this has been going on. They surveyed 1,000 boys ages 12 to 16, and they found that 85% of them have actually spoken to a chat bot. Is this, you hear of anything like this happening there at the college?
I actually have heard of this. I was doing, as you know, I've done a lot of this street interview stuff. And one of the topics I was talking about was AI girlfriends. It was one of those things that's just so ridiculous. I was expecting everyone to be like, no, that's crazy. That's so dystopian, whatever. But there was a surprisingly large number of people who said, yeah, like I've talked to an AI girl to, have some company, friendship, companionship. It is like very dystopian and crazy, but it's something that you hear from these kids.
So one of the things people may not be aware, not only are you doing the Newsmax segments, but you are an incredibly popular man on the street guy. So you go out and do these man on the street interviews. How did you get started? I mean, just like you have a massive audience, how did you get started in that, and how do you come up with the questions?
So I got started a long time ago. I've always been making content in some form, and then when I moved to New York, started doing it here, interviewing people about random stuff, and then kind of got picked up and noticed by some other people who were doing street interview stuff. So started working together, putting out content together. And as for how do I come with questions, I just try to think of like stuff that will get people going, stuff that's polarizing, stuff that the kind of questions that you don't usually ask in public about politics, religion, these things that are kind of taboo, kind of bring those to the forefront and having a conversation.
Do you find the people that you go up and talk to, are they pretty open about doing the Q&A?
It really depends. If someone is like very liberal and fits in with all the beliefs you're supposed to have in New York, they're pretty open. Whereas when they're more on the conservative side, they're often very, very hesitant. And they might say, "Oh, we can't post this. We need to redo this. I need to say this differently." Someone's on the conservative side, they're often like very hesitant.
This is cool. Our team is gonna be looking. When we come back from a break, we're gonna play one of your great Q&As, man on the street segments. Now, I do have a question, and I'm just I'm gonna regret asking this question, guys. So, being a simp, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Being a simp is a very bad thing. This is like
Okay.
type of guy who just really has no boundaries, no backbone, and will do anything just for, a moment of attention with women.
This is good to know. All right, so being a
Yep.
simp is bad. So, all right, Ryan Leonard, great intel, and we want to get you back and talk politics, especially when it comes to the Iran war. I know that is a big topic, so we're going to get you back on very soon. First of all, congratulations. Tell everybody what your degree is in.
Yeah, just got a degree in philosophy from NYU.
All right, good stuff, man. So, well done. And Ryan, we look forward to getting you back on very soon. Thanks a lot now.
Cool. Thank you very much.
All right, there you go, Ryan Leonard. The guy is like super brilliant. Theology, does like theology studies, political science, and he does these man on the street things that, quite frankly, Jesse Waters used to do. But I really enjoy the way Ryan Leonard approaches it. It's just really entertaining, and it's a lot of fun. We're going to try to hunt down one of those when we come back. 901-260-5926. Is your son dating an online bot? I'm not sure who would actually admit to that, Dylan, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh no, not at all. No.
But seriously, if your AI girlfriend is breaking up with you, that's problematic.
Now you just update the software and you're all good. Hit the reset button.
Or you got to install the Norton virus protection.
Oh yeah.
You can't be too careful these days. All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
Hear what's happening from Todd along with the biggest newsmakers first on the Todd Starnes Show. America has a new choice for fair and balanced news. ToddStarnes.com. Journalism you can trust from some of the best reporters and opinion writers in the business. ToddStarnes.com takes you to the front lines of the culture war, defending faith, freedom, and your family. ToddStarnes.com also features exclusive interviews with America's top newsmakers like Mike Huckabee, Franklin Graham, and Newt Gingrich. Find out why millions of Americans read ToddStarnes.com every day. It's news you can trust. ToddStarnes.com.
At a time when technology is often used to distort the truth, there's a new tool that's actually getting it right. My Faith Assistant is a Bible-based AI designed to help you understand God's Word and grow spiritually. Unlike generic AI tools that give vague or unbiblical answers, My Faith Assistant is anchored in Scripture, built on seminary-level resources, and shaped by more than 50 years of trusted teaching from Dr. Michael Youssef. And it's free, no login required. Try it today at myfaithassistant.com.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and you know what's sad? How many people spend the entire summer trying to hide, wearing black in 95-degree weather, avoiding the pool, dodging pictures, trying to suck it in everywhere they go. And listen, that's not vanity. That's just not feeling comfortable in your own body anymore. Look, I've been there myself, and that's one reason Calotren made such a difference for me, because it wasn't some extreme plan that I couldn't stick to. It was simple, taken at night, and it finally helped my body start working with me instead of against me, and I've lost a lot of weight.
That's why so many people stay on Calotren, Todd. They're sleeping better, they have more energy, their cravings calm down, and their weight loss finally starts feeling doable. I've lost over 40 pounds myself with Calotren, and honestly, summer feels completely different when you can actually feel good again.
Don't spend another summer hiding. Right now, during the Don't Hide This Summer event, get $40 off the proven 90-day supply at toploss.com or call 800-325-4366.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl? Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
Whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time, and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, Dylan, we're getting some messages here. This is from Noah down at our Pascagoula affiliate. Todd Starnes is not a simp. He has so many women that approach him. He's a playa. Is that playa?
You're kind of the opposite then. sounds like.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't run to women, they run to you.
Well, I want to explain this. And because to women of a certain age, I am like the Justin Bieber of that demographic.
Yeah, I've seen this in person.
You have seen it in person, right? And I think the reason why is I've got a pretty decent job, earning potential, and got good health insurance, and I have all of my teeth.
Yeah, and you attract a certain type of woman that cooks very well. Like home style cooking to a fault.
This is true.
Like you are given food, like anywhere that you're out in public and someone sees you, they'll give you food.
I was actually at a book signing years ago. Where were we? Oh, this was the Barnes & Noble in Franklin, Tennessee. How do I remember this? This was like 2000, 7 or 8. And we were doing, I'll never forget this, the book signing table was at the back of the store, but you could see, I had a direct vantage point to the entrance, right? So when you walk in, it's like a long aisle, and then here I am with all the books. And we saw this lady come in, and she was carrying these packages. And I didn't think much of it until she kept coming and coming, and then I realized it said Cracker Barrel. And this woman was one of my fans, and she loved reading my books. And she knew that, she said, you need a good home-cooked Southern meal. And I'm like, well, it's for Cracker Barrel.
Well, back then, Cracker Barrel was still pretty good.
It was. It was.
So
Yeah,
you could put that in the home style category.
So we thanked her. I had my book agent there. It was really funny. We had my agent there, and somebody else from the publishing house was there. And they wanted to take the bag from the woman, and she would not let them. And she jerked it back. She says, no, I'm going to serve him. I'm not kidding you. It's a huge table, and we had the books and everything. She then commences to lay out the entire Cracker Barrel meal, and people were trying to get their book signed.
That's really funny. She was determined. She was on a mission.
She was determined. I think there was meatloaf.
Oh my gosh.
Mashed potatoes.
Gonna need a bigger table.
The whole had a little thing of banana pudding or whatever. Wow. Some dessert. Even had some iced tea.
There you go. All for free. Wow.
All for, yeah, exactly. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. But I actually have had a couple of stalkers, though. And they're all very nice people, everything. But, you don't want to have somebody go Kathy Bates on you.
This is true.
Right. So I treasure my knees.
I don't think so. I think stalkers, that's the bad kind. A fan is the good kind. If they follow you around and they're nice, it's a fan.
No, well, I think you're exactly right.
Or a good stalker.
Or a good stalker, yeah. I had the most unusual stalker, the most unusual stalker I had. She was a lady, and she was a professional clown.
Oh.
And she had a lazy eye.
I didn't know that you can go pro in that.
Mm-hmm. Apparently you can. There is a market for just about everything.
And you're still scared of clowns, so.
I am terrified of clowns. I am. All right, we're going to talk to Beth, we got to take a break, but we've got Beth listening to us on WSJS. Conservative Ladies of America. We're going to talk about dating. What are you looking for in your conservative guy? 901-260-5926. That's our number. This is the Todd Stern Show.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with. You can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year, and they're looking to make 2026 the best year yet. And as a thank you to my listeners, MyPillow is offering exclusive free shipping on your entire order at wholesale pricing. That means they're bringing back the mega sale exclusively for my listeners. For example, the classic My Pillows, normally $49.98, now marked down to only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the made in the USA My Pillow My Mattress Topper. Save up to $100. Get a set of My Pillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code STARNS. Or give them a call, 800-839-8506. These offers won't last long, so call now, 800-839-8506, or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code STARNS. Order now, and your entire order ships free.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Smokey the Bear. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, this segment of the program brought to you by our friends at Calitrin. And by the way, Elizabeth from Calitrin came to visit us today. Dylan, she is off to the big Talkers Magazine convention, which is up in New York City. I'm supposed to be there, but the doctor said, yeah, you can't go yet. You got to give it another week or so. But anyway, Elizabeth from Calitrin, and one of the things that I've been doing since the big heart hiccup is losing weight and being pretty intentional about it. And Calitrin has been a huge part of that. And I want to encourage you to go and check it out. They've got a Summer Starts in May sale. It's their biggest sale of the year. Buy 3, get 3 free. That's a pretty good deal. It's kind of like paying half price. I want you to go to toploss.com. That's TOPLOSS.com, toploss.com, or call 800-325-4366. I'll repeat that number again, 800-325-4366. Let me say something here. There's no stimulants, none of that stuff, no drugs, none of that. And my cardiologist, when I told him what I was doing, he said, great, that's good to hear. Keep it up. And I take one pill every single night, and it's really helping on the big weight loss campaign. All right, let's go to the phones here, 901-260-5926. Say hello to Beth in Greensville, North Carolina, WSJS. Hi, Beth. What's on your mind?
Hey, Todd. It's Greensboro, North Carolina. But I'm doing well today. How are you?
I'm doing great, Beth. Thank you for asking. What's on your mind?
Well, I heard Ryan talking about I guess he was Gen Z, talking about dating. I'm a Gen Xer like you. And it's funny because if men find out that I'm a Trump supporter, which I am, they won't date me. They're like, nope, I don't want to have anything to do with you, kind of thing.
Really?
And then if I date a guy, if I meet a guy that is not a Trump supporter, all he does is complain about Trump. So I go, oh, and I can't say anything back because all you do is argue, and then it's a nightmare.
Is that like part of a thing in the dating culture now? Like normally, you want to get to know somebody. I would never in a million years, I know at least back in the 80s, we would not ask people about their politics or anything. I don't remember that being a part of the equation.
No, it wasn't back then. It wasn't. My dad, when I first could vote at 18 years old, he said, always vote Republican. And I've always honored him, may he rest, since then. And so I vote Republican. I've always stuck Republican. And dating, it's a big deal. It's like if you say you're a Trump supporter, they're like, nope. So it's just bizarre.
That is strange. I get where Ryan is coming from. And, again, I think it's really tough for especially younger, I'd say Generation Z guys. So these are guys that are 18 to 24, 25. When you look at how radicalized a lot of these girls have become, there has been a concerted effort to radicalize, a generation of young girls. And a lot of guys are saying, you know what, we don't want any part of that. And now some of the guys are out there saying that that religion and faith and tradition are important things to them. And, according to the surveys, a lot of young girls, they're just not interested in that.
Yeah, religion is important to me. I don't know where to meet a man that is religious. Well, I like to go to church.
Have you tried church? Yeah,
church. Yeah, I should try church. But I go to church with my mom, and there's no one there that, I just go with her. But anyway, and politics is important to me. It's divided my family even. Like, we can't even talk. Like, my mom is the same belief as I as far as politics, and another sister of mine. But the other family, they're not. And it divides people. It divides this country. And it shouldn't be like that. We should support our political system. We're Americans. So it's just frustrating.
Beth, we're gonna put out the question here to the audience, and maybe they might be able to offer some suggestions on where to find those good Christian conservative guys or gals.
Yeah.
Where do you reckon? So we've got to help Beth here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get this worked out, Beth. And we have a lot of listeners in the WSJS listening area. That's a big signal. So who knows?
Todd, you're all the way in Memphis, so that wouldn't work.
No, I can't. I had long distance. Yeah, the long distance things never work. So it's all right.
Sure.
All right, Beth. Thank you for calling in, and our audience is gonna help you, Beth. And wait a second. What just happened there, Dylan?
I think she just shot her shot with you almost.
Jeez, Lou.
Yeah. It is long distance. That is hard.
Yeah, they don't work.
Yeah.
I know that much. So, all right.
FaceTimes and calls and movies and
But you're closer in age to Ryan than I think any of us here. Does he have a pretty good point?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing you were talking about, politics, it is such a part of like people's mindset and worldview now. Like it almost has to be brought up on the first date. I would not want that to happen. Like I just want to get to know someone first, but it's like if you don't know what their politics are, I mean, that's one thing you want to be aligned on if you're going to get married.
I'm trying to figure out if I should share this story or not on air.
I think you should.
I shouldn't. So there was, I'm a good Southern Baptist.
Yes.
And in our denomination, the women don't preach.
Yeah.
So I went out on a date. I was in college. Went out on a date. A buddy set me up and said, "Hey, you got to go out with this girl." And she was all nice enough until I asked. There was just something off. And it turns out it took me all of 3 minutes into the date to figure out, number one, she was a feminist. And number two, when I asked her, I said, "Oh, what church do you go to?" She said, "Oh, I'm a Methodist." And I said, "Oh, well, what are you studying?" She goes to a Methodist school. I said, "What are you majoring in?" She goes, "Oh, I'm going to be a preacher."
That's 2 strikes.
You know what happened? So I was so shocked that we were in traffic, and I actually hit the car in front of me. Honest to goodness. It was a little fender bender there.
Wow.
So that didn't work out.
No.
But all that to say, I mean, poor Beth from North Carolina's got a point. Where do you go to meet people now that apparently, I guess, politics is part of the whole dating experience?
There needs to be a dating app, probably a conservative dating app, maybe.
Wow. What is it? What is a Christian Mingle?
Yeah.
That's
out there.
I don't know. Trump Mingle?
Helen just said farmers only.
Farmers only. What?
Hey, try it out. I don't know. We'll see.
Isn't there like a reality show about farmers getting wives or something?
Probably.
No, seriously, it's out there. I don't know what.
I'll have to look this up.
Yeah, there's so many weird reality shows.
Yeah, Love Island is back on.
Is that right?
Yeah, I am coerced into watching that every night.
Well, you're married.
Yep.
So you've got to do that stuff now.
Yes.
My
it is a
condolences.
yes dear season for me.
You know what I watched last night?
What is
Honest to goodness, this is a great. For some reason, I've been hankering for. Well, it's been showing up on my Instagram. I'm in a new algorithm. You know, for the longest time, I was in the elephants giving birth algorithm. Now I'm in the Clint Eastwood algorithm.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so I watched a old school Clint Eastwood movie last night.
Wow. There you go.
Magnum.
I need to watch those movies. I need to watch his those Western movies. I really haven't watched any of those.
Okay, these were not. This was now. So before all the Westerns, Clint Eastwood was like a San Francisco cop.
Oh.
And yeah, so it's those like Dirty Harry movies, unbelievable. You got to go. They're all politically incorrect.
I'm taking notes.
So you got to watch Dirty Harry.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a break here, folks. Any ideas, any recommendations you might have for good conservative folks like Beth, where they can go and find friendship or companionship? You know, one of the problems in the church world is it used to have a lot of guys that would go to church just to get dates because they wanted to date the wholesome church girls. And now the girls are showing up, the heathen girls, because they want to meet the nice church boys. No, I didn't say that word. I'm just saying heathen. The Sidewalk Sallies. 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Stern Show.
You're with Todd Starnes.
Grandma's Kitchen, where laughter and warm meals mingle. Each bite is a journey through generations. As you gather around the table, complement the meal with Balance of Nature fruits and veggie supplements. Our veggie supplement, made from 15 ingredients like garlic, onion, and cayenne pepper, can easily be opened and added to your favorite dishes, like homemade soups or dips. Not to mention our fruit supplement, which is made from 16 ingredients like banana, strawberries, and mango, making it a great addition to your homemade smoothies. So the next time time you gather with family, enjoy Balance of Nature supplements as an addition to your favorite dishes. Start your journey with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your preferred set as a new preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year, and they're looking to make 2026 the best year yet. And as a thank you to my listeners, MyPillow is offering exclusive free shipping on your entire order at wholesale pricing. That means they're bringing back the mega sale exclusively for my listeners. For example, the classic My Pillows, normally $49.98, now marked down to only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the made in the USA My Pillow My Mattress Topper. Save up to $100. Get a set of My Pillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code STARNS or give them a call, 800-839-8506. These offers won't last long, so call now, 800-839-8506, or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code STARNS. Order now, and your entire order ships free.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. All right, welcome back. Our good friends, Mary Walter and Kay Smythe-Hill, joining us because now these radical Democrat feminists are wanting to have special privileges in the workplace when it comes to, well, those ladies' days. Let's take a listen. Mary, to you first. It's a little ironic here, seeing how the governor of Washington State cannot actually define what a woman is. What say you?
Yeah, well, this is a really, really rich mine to ore here, is it not? They don't tell you exactly how they're going to help women, which I think is interesting. Like, exactly what are you going to do? Do they have any idea that perimenopause to postmenopausal can be more than 10 years? So I'm not quite sure, but I just see this snowballing into they're just not going to hire women anymore because they're just going to stay at home every time they have a bad night's sleep because they're up at 3 o'clock in the morning every single night. It's just going to have a bad outcome. And like you said, they don't know how to define a woman. So when Todd in accounting decides that he's going through menopause, does he now suddenly get all of these accommodations as well? I don't know.
Can we call him Carl, please? Come on, Mary, come on.
I'm sorry,
Kay,
Carl.
Kay, I thought the whole point of this, we're already off the rails. Come on, ladies. Look, Kay, I thought the whole point of the whole equal rights movement was actually for equal treatment and not special treatment. What say you?
If it was actually special treatment, I would be all for it. I love to be treated like I'm special. I think all women know that we put up with a lot more when it comes to our bodies than men have to put up with. We do a lot more in terms of, having children, even just going through like a regular hormonal sort of trend process, whatever you want to call it, before you hit the perimenopausal stage of life and the menopausal stage of life. It's crazy. It's a lot of work. It does make us a little bit loopy. And I think that if we were actually going to be treated as special, and if science actually knew how to manage these hormonal fluctuations, and it had actually been studied enough for that to be the case, I'd be all for it. But no, I think this is just stupid posturing by the government, and I don't want the government involved in this part of my life. So, it's one of those where I just think it's another politician looking to make headlines, and it's been pretty successful. Hopefully maybe some good science will actually come out of this, and we'll start trying to figure out what actually happens to us when we hit that particular stage in life. And if we can get special treatment, again, I'm all for it. Free chocolate at work, that would be nice.
Jeez,
things like that.
A Capitol Hill press conference, ladies, also getting attention. I'm ignoring you, Kay Smythe-Hill. Another press conference getting attention. Democrat lawmakers are talking about something called period pain and whether workers should get time off because of that. Let's take a listen.
Forcing a worker to choose between paying her rent or losing a day pay to recover from a grueling gynecological procedure is not a choice. It's an economic violence. We are done being gaslit in the exam room. Health is not a luxury, and our pain is not an inconvenience.
All right, so it's economic violence when the employers do not pay women to stay home from work while they are dealing with their how do I say this delicately? Ladies' days. Mary, what say you?
Ladies' days, Todd. Dear Lord, you're making this more uncomfortable than it has to be. So, I had a roommate who got, sometimes when she had her period, she would be on the floor of the bathroom sick, puking from pain. Okay. That's how bad it can be. Men don't understand that. All right. That's number one. Number two, though, women just aren't going to work for 1 week out of every month? And then they're going to get time off for menopause. I'm sorry, but I see this as a way to take women out of the workplace. That's exactly what this is, because employers aren't going to, go back to my first point, they're not going to want to employ women. My very first employer said to me, well, why should my very first radio employer said, well, why should I hire you? You're just going to have babies and then all my training is lost. So it's always been there under the surface. And now they're like putting on this cloak of like, oh, we care about you. And it's just a way to get women out of the workplace. 100%. That's what I think. I think this is a very, very dangerous thing. And if women are angry, you better watch out.
All right. Ladies, we are thankfully switching gears now. Let's talk about MS Now. Ali Velshi sparking backlash. She talks about being uneasy with celebrating America's 250th birthday. Let's take a listen.
Anniversaries are imperfect records of the thing which is being celebrated. In America's case, anniversaries often gloss over the racial dynamics underlying much of America's history and politics, issues that remain unsolved because America has never actually fully reckoned with its racist past and its original founding sin of slavery. In 1 month, America will mark the 250th anniversary of its founding. Like previous anniversaries, there is a deep unease about this. I feel a deep unease about these celebrations to which I am invited to mark the 250th anniversary of our so-called democracy.
All right. So look, a lot of people may not be aware, this guy born in Kenya, raised in Canada, and somehow we let him into the country a few years back. And a lot of folks are now saying this guy needs to be denaturalized and deported back to Canada. Kay, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't like it here, go home. It is that flippin' simple. God, I hate people like this. They make it so much harder for patriotic immigrants like me to be taken seriously. This guy is an absolute clown show. Oh, I think it's just going to be really emotionally difficult to deal with the history. Shut up. You walk down beautiful streets every single day. Okay, maybe not in like some democratic run cities because of the homeless crisis, but still, you have running water, you have hot and cold flowing air. We don't even have that in Europe, okay? He lives in the greatest country in the world, hands down, and like every single other country, every single other part of the planet, it has a complex past. Guess what? It's the past. That's not necessarily what we're celebrating. We're celebrating the existence of this incredible nation. This guy is a clown show. This guy is a clown show. Very embarrassing. MS Now is also a stupid name.
Mary, I've got to get this in for you. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser making a very interesting announcement yesterday. Let's take a listen.
Every person deserves to be seen, heard, and fully represented. We're celebrating Pride Month in the gayest city in the world.
Jazz hands. Mary, look, she may not be wrong here, and it makes sense because MAGA correspondent Natalie Winters, she was on with Steve Bannon, did an interview a while back, and she said that most men, conservative guys in the nation's capital, are in fact gay, saying it crosses both party lines. And I'm wondering, maybe this is why women are having such a hard time finding men in D.C.
Well, there's a whole lot wrong with DC that can explain why women are having a hard time finding men in DC. DC is a very, very weird place. And I don't know, I think you must have to be born and bred in it in order to be able to withstand Washington, DC. I just want to know is how come whenever the Democrats get together to make some kind of an announcement or something like that, they are just surrounded by, it almost looks like Ringling Brothers just vomited on them, right? Because like the clown car opened up and they just kept pouring out. They don't, I can't take them seriously when they're doing stuff like this. You want to have
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. You know you have lots of choices for cell phone service with new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American and believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that's Patriot Mobile. The good news is you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality or service. Worried about coverage? Don't be. Patriot Mobile uses all three major U.S. networks. If you have service in this country today, you'll have as good or better coverage with Patriot Mobile. Think switching is a hassle? Well, it's not. You can keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Patriot Mobile's 100% U.S.-based team will get you activated in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Stuck in a contract or owe money on your phones? No worries. Patriot Mobile has a contract buyout program. This is how we win, folks, by aligning our spending with our values. Every dollar we spend matters. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Todd and get a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. We are living in dangerous and unstable times. Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Starnes. Pandemics, international insecurity, shortages, supply chain disruptions, and an economy on the brink. We know we can't simply trust the government to protect us. Now more than ever, everyone needs to be prepared. And being prepared is more than just stockpiling ammo, food, and supplies. Being prepared should also include stockpiling critical prescription medications. And that's where my friends at the Wellness Company come in. Their medical emergency kit contains the prescriptions, antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics that you need to keep you and your family safe, from anthrax to tick bites to COVID and even to a bioweapon like the plague. The Wellness Company's medical emergency kit is exactly what you need to have on hand to be prepared. Go to twc.health/Starnes today and order. That's twc.health/Starnes. Use the promo code Starnes and you're going to save an extra 10%. Hello, Americans. I'm Todd Starnes. Stand by for news and commentary next.
At a time when technology is often used to distort the truth, there's a new tool that's actually getting it right. My Faith Assistant is a Bible-based AI designed to help you understand God's Word and grow spiritually. Unlike generic AI tools that give vague or unbiblical answers, My Faith Assistant is anchored in Scripture, built on seminary-level resources, and shaped by more than 50 years of trusted teaching from Dr. Michael Youssef. And it's free, no login required. Try it today at myfaithassistant.com.
A shocking number of doctors, nurses, and others in the medical profession are posting online messages threatening to injure conservatives. And in many cases, they're hoping conservatives suffer violent injuries. A labor and delivery nurse at Baptist Health Boca Raton in Florida posted a video hoping Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt suffers medical complications during childbirth. In New York City, a pair of detectives were manhandled and denied treatment at NYC Langone Hospital in the Cobble Hill section of Brooklyn. The medical team thought the detectives worked for ICE. The hospital apologized, but former Mayor Eric Adams said it was a total moral collapse, and apologies are simply not good enough. Those working in hospitals swear an oath to care for their patients. Clearly, that oath has been violated. And now we have to wonder just how many patients were either denied treatment or given inadequate treatment simply because of their conservative political beliefs. I'm Todd Stearns.
The Todd Starnes Show begins in 4 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 2 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 1 minute.
from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's America's conservative blowtorch.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Todd Starnes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Todd Starnes radio program. Great to have you with us. Hour 3 of the big show, broadcasting border to border, coast to coast, across the fruited plain. Well, a lot happening in Washington, a lot happening in California right now. This slow-moving steal of the vote, and President Trump is pretty upset about all of this. The president going on Truth Social and laying out the argument that the Democrats are trying to steal the election. And I do not disagree with President Trump here. We're going to get into more of that in just a little while. But I would like to go right away to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line, say hello to Congressman Andy Ogles from the great state of Tennessee. And we've got a lot to talk about in the world of politics. Congressman, I hope you're doing well.
I am. Thanks for having me on.
So, look, I've got to give you and your staff props here because when we knew you were coming on the program, and we've got to talk about what happened earlier today. And I appreciate you being willing to do that. A lot of lawmakers would not want to have that kind of courage, or do not have that kind of courage. And I appreciate you taking a moment to kind of help us understand what happened. So earlier this week, there was a tweet that was put out on your account that said homosexuality has no place in America. And we all know the hullabaloo, the firestorm that followed from including a lot of conservative lawmakers. So, Congressman, just help us set the record straight here. What happened here?
Well, someone on my staff got a little overzealous, to say the least, and it was a stupid tweet. I literally was working on my farm and received a phone call from one of my colleagues asking if I knew about the tweet. And, I don't manage my social media. But that being said, as soon as I was alerted to it, we took it down. And I then put out a statement on Twitter clarifying the fact, look, my focus is the MAGA agenda, the America First agenda, and quite frankly, warning Americans about the threat of Islam. Anything else is a distraction, and which is why I wanted to clear up the record.
So so a couple of questions here, and I think you answered the first one. To be clear, so you don't do anything on your social media. Somebody controls that for you?
Yeah, 98% of the time. I have a comms team. They do a fantastic job, but this was a mistake, and I had them fix it.
All right. The individual who did this, are they still employed with your office?
Yes, they are. Obviously, I've put restrictions in place to make sure that something like this never happens. Because, again, I say it overwhelmingly all the time. California has a right to be liberal. Tennessee has a right to be conservative. Californians have a right to be liberal. I have a right to be conservative. That means you get to be you and I get to be me. And so I'm not going to criticize someone for their life choices. Now, I may not agree with that life choice, but at the end of the day, my focus is the MAGA agenda, America First, and warning about that threat of Islam, which is imperative to the future of this country.
No doubt about that. And again, I don't want to dwell on this, but again, the idea that homosexuality has no place in America. How did your staff, again, if they're controlling your social media, how in the world would they think that is something that you would approve of?
Well, again, it's a little, baffling. Obviously, I'm pro-family, I'm pro-traditional marriage and that sort of thing. But, I'm pro-family. I'm not anti anything else other than anti-Islam.
All right. What was your reaction when you saw that, when you saw what they had tweeted?
I literally was again, my wife and I, the kids were working on the farm, and I looked at my wife and I said, "Stupid, stupid, stupid." I mean, it's just like I can't describe it any other way. It was a stupid tweet. It should have never been put out, and we immediately took it down and addressed it, and which is why I'm willing to come on the show and talk about it. And look, again, people have a right to make a decision. The Supreme Court has ruled on the issue. That being said, that's not my focus.
No, and look, the fact of the matter is there are a lot of good, solid gay conservatives out there who are, some of them actually serve in the cabinet. I'm surprised Scott Besson didn't give you a call, Congressman.
I have a dear friend of mine, known him for 20 years, who saw the tweet, and I called him and said, "Hey, buddy, this wasn't me, and I had it taken down. But look, he lives his life. I get to live my life, and we live in the greatest country in America. But again, it was an incredibly stupid post, and it's a distraction from the real issues at hand here in this country.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Congressman Andy Ogles explaining that controversy. I do want to move on because there are so many other issues going on here. We're watching what's happening in California. And, Congressman, this goes back to why it was so vitally important that we get the Save America Act across the finish line so that we cannot, we can't have these situations where it's taking weeks to count votes and having Democrats steal elections.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really, baffling. So when you look at the House of Representatives, we passed the SAVE Act. We then passed a revision of that, the Save America Act, which had some additional provisions in it. And the Senate has done absolutely nothing. And this is an issue that has 85% support when you look at the numbers. And that's a CNN poll. So Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, just everybody in between, regardless of race, color, creed, supports the idea of the Save America Act and having an ID to vote. And so that being said, it does underscore the fact that we know that the Democrats lie, cheat, and steal when it comes to elections, and they're going to do whatever they can to steal the election that's underway.
Congressman, you mentioned Islam, and no doubt about it, it is a major issue in this country. Certainly, a lot of folks in the southern states have great concerns as we've been watching an influx. How do we fix this? I mean, we're a Christian nation. There are some who say, well, we've got to accept all religions here in this country. What say you?
Well, I think we have to have a tough conversation on this issue of Islam. And part of that is to look at Europe. And so Europe's about 10 years ahead of us on the curve, if you will. And you can look at London, you can look in Paris, you can look at Rome. And, that migrant population disproportionately Islamic is 8 to 12%. I'm speaking in broad terms or generic numbers, but it's 52% of all sex crimes. They have a problem in Europe when it comes to the mass rape of the European continent. That's coming to America if we don't have an honest conversation. So that's why I have the Assimilation Act. We're going to be rolling out another piece of immigration legislation where we get to decide who comes in. We can deport people. We can be more aggressive and only importing people into this country that really, align with our values.
Look, I think this is important. And again, this is a pretty significant piece of legislation with an 83-page Assimilation Act. I know you're working with Senator Tommy Tuberville on that. Meanwhile, there in the Nashville area, there's all sorts of craziness when it comes to, for example, illegal immigration. It seems as though the Middle Tennessee area has just been inundated with these illegals, and certainly glad to see ICE out there hunting down folks.
Yeah, when you look at the task forces that have been deployed to cities like Memphis, like Nashville, like Chicago, it's made a huge difference in the communities and the safety as you're getting criminals off of the street. So I'm very appreciative of President Trump. And when I was in Memphis and I had the opportunity to talk to some of the residents, they were appreciative of President Trump. And these are individuals who historically vote Democrat, but they appreciate Trump being dedicated to their community and making Memphis safe again.
This is a crazy story. I know Senator Marshall Blackburn's been really upset about this, but the mayor of Nashville, a guy by the name of Freddie O'Connell, this idea, he's pitching a $3.8 billion budget. City Council's pushing back on that. More than $700,000 is being designated to a pro-illegal alien nonprofit fund. What in the world is going on there?
Well, he's a textbook liberal, kind of California-esque, if you will. But that being said, we have veterans that are still committing suicide at a rate of 22 a day. We have kids in the third grade that can't read and do arithmetic. That's almost $1 million that could be spent on those two issues that really would benefit the community versus helping illegals who are literally here in violation of the law. And so enough is enough. My hope would be that at some point Freddie O'Connell is no longer the mayor of Nashville and they can get a conservative in there because, look, Nashville's the jewel of the South. Tennessee's the economic engine of the South. And the last thing we need is a socialist mayor who's really running the city into the ground.
Congressman, I know you've been busy up there on Capitol Hill, also working with Senator Rick Scott. And there is a bill that you guys are putting together that would rename the Chinese Embassy Street after Tiananmen Square. Tell us about that.
Well, when you think about that tragedy that happened so many years ago, it really just puts a fine point on the fact that, again, they're a society whose values do not align with ours. They're a country that is constantly undermining the United States of America. I'm on financial services and Homeland Security, and I'm chairman of cyber. And what I can tell you is when I get classified briefings, the number one culprit, the nation that is constantly attacking us, trying to get into our systems, whether it's water or energy or banks, is China. And so this is just shedding a light on who they are, how they behave, and what they do to their people.
All right, well, good. And we're going to talk more about that this evening. I know you're going to be on our Newsmax show, so we look forward to having that conversation. Congressman, appreciate you coming on the show, and thank you for answering those questions. Everybody makes mistakes, and appreciate you owning up to it, and we just move on from there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there you go, folks. Congressman Andy Ogles on our Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line today. And I appreciate that. I appreciate lawmakers that are willing to come up and say, you know what, yeah, we screwed up. Let me just say this about our social media. Dylan, there's no way in the world I would ever let you ever touch my social media account.
Very smart man.
For me, and again, it's everything I write is written by me. And whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. People need to know that it's coming from me. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure what the point of an X page is if you've got staff that are writing all of that.
It would be kind of funny if you let your Gen Z staff run your social media for a day.
Yeah, I mean, you guys would be simping this and simping that and dropping tea on this and dropping tea on that and whatever.
Hey, if we get a viral post, you have to give it a second thought.
The chocolate pudding emojis all over the place. Yeah, exactly.
It'd be a problem.
But you know what? I guarantee you, everybody on Capitol Hill, aside from Tim Burchett actually handles his own account, by the way. Everybody else, I can promise you, their staff is doing it. You know who's handling John? No, we can't say it. We can't spill the tea on that.
I do.
No, Congressman John Rose.
Oh, yeah.
His Twitter account, and one day I'm like, man, he's really fired up. And then I realized he's not writing that. But we know who is.
Wait now.
We know who is. Anyway, got to take a break here, folks. 901-260-5926 is our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. By the way, John Bolton in hot water, pleading guilty to some pretty bad things, and he could be doing some serious jail time. We're going to tell you all about that coming up next. 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
He's a man of his word. Todd Starnes.
America has a new choice for fair and balanced news. ToddStarnes.com. Journalism you can trust from some of the best reporters and opinion writers in the business. ToddStarnes.com takes you to the front lines of the culture war, defending faith, freedom, and your family. ToddStarnes.com also features exclusive interviews with America's top newsmakers like Mike Huckabee, Franklin Graham, and Newt Gingrich. Find out why millions of Americans read ToddStarnes.com every day. It's news you can trust. ToddStarnes.com.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year, and they're looking to make 2026 the best year yet. And as a thank you to my listeners, MyPillow is offering exclusive free shipping on your entire order at wholesale pricing. That means they're bringing back the mega sale exclusively for my listeners. For example, the classic MyPillows, normally $49.98, now marked down to only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the made in the USA MyPillow My Mattress Topper. Save up to $100. Get a set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code STARNS. Or give them a call, 800-839-8506. These offers won't last long, so call now, 800-839-8506, or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code STARNS. Order now, and your entire order ships free.
At a time when technology is often used to distort the truth, there's a new tool that's actually getting it right. My Faith Assistant is a Bible-based AI designed to help you understand God's Word and grow spiritually. Unlike generic AI tools that give vague or unbiblical answers, My Faith Assistant is anchored in Scripture, built on seminary-level resources, and shaped by more than 50 years of trusted teaching from Dr. Michael Youssef, and it's free, no login required. Try it today at myfaithassistant.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Starnes Radio Show. This segment of the program brought to you by our friends at Newsmax, and they are very concerned about whether or not you're getting all of the Social Security benefits you need. And they're saying that there are 5 key strategies that you can utilize to increase your benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Michael Allen, a Social Security expert, revealing all of this. And Newsmax wants to give you this free special report. All you need to do is call 1-800-999-9690. Again, that number, 800-999-9690, and we will text you all of that information. Text and data rates may apply. Let's go to the phone lines, 901-260-5926. Our good friend, Black Conservative from Collierville, Tennessee, listening to us on KWAM. Black Conservative, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, Todd, I'm sorry I missed you when you came up to the Collierville Square. It's been many months ago, and I was there, but I didn't get a chance to engage you.
I could feel, hold on a second, Black Conservative, I remember that moment, and I could sense there was something different in the audience. There was, I don't know, it was a very positive force, and I had no idea it was you and your erudite mind.
Well, Todd, I heard Tom Holman educate the AOC about asylum, people seeking asylum, and illegal aliens. And I've talked to some of my friends, and I try to explain to them because the moment they hear Trump, that's all they need to hear. They are totally against it. And I said, okay, in your house, if somebody knock on your door and you open it up, okay, if you open it up and they come in, are they not considered a visitor? But what if they come down your chimney, under your floorboard, or through your windows? And they got my point.
Well, sometimes that's what it takes is just maybe some reasoning here, and if people are willing to listen, they're going to come. They're going to come around.
Yes, but I am appalled at what the Trump administration is doing with the asylum thing, and Holden Mother have some wisdom on this, and I hear crickets. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, if you go through the ports of entry and claim asylum, that's legal. I think there's over 30 ports of entry. If they really claiming asylum, go there. But what I'm appalled at, and I tried to call Blackburn and some of the others and tell them, what are we doing about the asylum court? Are there asylum courts? Are we adjudicating those who are coming to the port seeking asylum? Why don't we publicize it, maybe weekly, and say how many of them we are allowing to have their court date and what's going on? Cricket. We don't have nothing going. And so it's hard to separate people coming from asylum and illegal aliens when we don't publicize well for it, Todd.
Well, we do know this. I understand. I think I understand where you're coming from here. I know the Trump administration has been really focused on expediting the asylum cases. But the question is exactly what kinds of people are they allowing into the country here? Now, the White House says that asylum grants have actually fallen to 7% under the Trump administration. This is coming from the White House numbers. And according to the White House, immigration courts issued nearly 500,000 removal orders in 2025, which was a 57% increase. So while I hear your concerns here, Black conservative, it certainly appears that the White House may not be, they actually may be cracking down.
Well, I don't doubt the crackdown. I'm talking about the publicity. We can lose the publicity war while we're doing the right thing. I've known for years that if people get their date in court for asylum, there's a large percentage of them that don't qualify for asylum.
I do wonder, Black conservative, I've had a change of heart over this. I'm okay with not having a lot of publicity as long as they're deporting all of these people. And, otherwise, you don't want Minnesota all over again, where every single day you've got the wall-to-wall coverage of people being dragged out of their homes. I would like to think that is still actually being done. It's just not leading the network news. Black conservative, I got to go, my friend. It is good hearing from you. Don't be a stranger. And we always love having your erudite mind visit the show.
Thank you.
All right. Good man right there. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
oh, it's on...
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Great if life came with a remote control. You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control.
Yikes!
So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Many college grads are anti-capitalist activists. So if you're a business owner, how do you find new employees who won't destroy your business? Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and that's where Red Balloon comes in. They're America's #1 pro-freedom job board, and they're shaking up the hiring world by focusing on values and mission-aligned talent. Now, there are two ways Red Balloon can help. You can post your job on their national job board. Over 20,000 people visit every week. Or you can hire Red Balloon Recruiter for a more customized talent search. Now, the recruiter team is really fantastic. They start by learning your workplace culture and writing a custom job posting, and then they source and screen candidates from their national database. Their team conducts first interviews, and you get alerts when they find highly qualified candidates. And Red Balloon delivers these high-quality results at a fraction of traditional corporate recruiter prices. People are saying Red Balloon is a game changer. So check them out today, redballoon.work. Use the promo code STARNS and save $100 on Recruiter.
Get hurt in a game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Wow. All right, there you go. It's one of the iconic lines. Dylan, this is what I'm talking about.
this is the movie that I need to
watch. This is the movie that you got to watch. Well, it's not just, it's a series of movies. But anyway, we're going to throw out a trivia question here. And we want to know, Clint Eastwood, what was the first and last name of the character that he played in that series? So, by the way, this was back in the early 1970s, like 1971, 73, 76. And he played the character in every single one of those films. So if you can tell us first and last name, then we're going to give you a copy of my brand new upcoming book called The Golden Age: How Trump Saved America. By the way, our telephone number 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. Dylan, I got to play this other clip from the great Clint Eastwood.
Next applicant. Officer Moore, how long have you been on the force?
9 years.
What department?
Mainly personnel and records.
Harry?
Well, Officer Moore, maybe you'll tell us all here about your most important felony arrest.
I've never made a felony arrest.
Well, maybe you'll tell us about your best misdemeanor arrest then.
I've never made a misdemeanor arrest either.
Then what the hell gives you the right to become an inspector when there's men have been out there on the street for 10 or 15 years?
The woman's place is in the home. Is that what you're trying to say?
What do you think this is, some kind of encounter group? I want to know what Officer Moore is going to do when somebody points a gun at her and says, "Hit the deck, you son of a bitch!"
You're just deliberately trying to fail this candidate, aren't you, Callahan?
Well, if she fails out there, she gets her ass blown off.
It's my ass.
Except that out there, you're going to have a partner. And if you get blown away, he gets blown away with you. And that's a hell of a price to pay for being stylish.
Wow. Dylan, that's how they used to do movies back in the day.
Seems like a lot better than now.
A lot better, right? Exactly. And by the way, they were dealing with all that woke nonsense, that DEI stuff back in 1971. I'm just telling you. All right, we're going to get to your phone calls. Hang tight. We got a lot of folks wanting to call in and try their hand at trivia. In the meantime, I do want to go to our Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line, and we're just honored to have one of the great writers and journalists of America with us, Tyler O'Neill from the Daily Signal. And Tyler, you had an exclusive and explosive post up, a story that was posted yesterday. In bed with neo-Nazi, new indictment exposes the Southern Poverty Law Center's relationships with white nationalists. First, good to have you with us. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Todd. So, yeah, what the heck is going on is a good question. When you're looking at this superseding indictment that was handed down on Tuesday, is what we're hearing from the grand jury, the SPLC has already been charged with wire fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy to conceal money laundering. But in this superseding indictment, we get a lot more of the concrete nitty-gritty details of exactly what the SPLC stands accused of doing. So the broad message here is that the SPLC was acting like an exterminator who planted rats in people's houses, or like a fireman who moonlights as an arsonist. In other words, they were going out and they were propping up the very hate that they told donors they existed to oppose. And that is just, if you get nothing else, that's the nutshell of the indictment. But yeah,
this is just insane, and I want to focus on what happened in Charlottesville, because if I'm reading this correctly, it looks as though they actually bankrolled whatever happened in Charlottesville, Virginia.
They bankrolled one of the organizers of the so-called Unite the Right rally. So what this was, and by the way, Charlottesville it stinks to high heaven with the SPLC's involvement, because before this, the SPLC put out a hate map where they had all across the country the Confederate monuments. And they said these monuments are inspiring turmoil and bloodshed. And among the monuments, they had statues of Robert E. Lee, for instance, but they also had middle schools and high schools that are named after Confederates. And so they were inspiring acts against these monuments. And then at the same time, as we learned from these indictments, they were sending hundreds of thousands of dollars to one of the organizers of the unite the right side, the side with the white nationalists. And so this person who was on the SPLC payroll brought more people to the rally, and also under the SPLC and SPLC employees' supervision was posting racist messages online, which means that a lot of that Unite the Right, a lot of the really ugly stuff in Charlottesville that happened in 2017 can be traced back to the Southern Poverty Law Center's funding.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to get even more details as this story develops and unfolds, and as the court cases begin. But it's just really shocking to me that you've got this organization, the Southern Poverty Law Center, bringing in millions and millions of dollars. It's almost like the mafia going out there and going into a neighborhood and staging all these robberies and businesses, and then coming back the next day and saying, "Hey, if you want to be protected from the bad guys, you've got to give us 10% of whatever you're making." I mean, it seems like they were creating a problem that did not exist.
Yes. Well, they were propping up a problem that at the very least was not nearly as bad as they tell their donors it is. And the other aspect of this, which I think you're very familiar with, is that they weren't just propping up these real white nationalist groups, but they were also systematically smearing mainstream conservative and Christian groups by putting them on this hate map with chapters of the Klan, saying that they're part of the infrastructure upholding white supremacy in America. I don't know about you, but I don't think Alliance Defending Freedom or the Family Research Council or Turning Point USA is part of the infrastructure upholding white supremacy.
No.
But it is beyond the pale, the attacks the SPLC engages in. But they were only taken seriously because they were known as the force that combated real white supremacy. And therefore, that's why their attacks had any sting whatsoever.
All right, we have Tyler O'Neill joining us from the Daily Signal, and just a shocking report, new information coming out in these court documents. Tyler, it looks to me that, and again, I'm not an attorney here, but just reading the allegations and the documentation, it looks like the DOJ has these guys dead to rights.
Yeah, I think this is a strong case. The main thing that I always come back to with this case, because a lot of people on the left constantly say, "Oh, it's a weak case. They don't have a strong document here." I'm looking at this. They have in black and white statements from an SPLC staffer who was apparently creating bank accounts and told the bank, "I am the owner of these accounts of this entity." And then a few years later, the SPLC president says, these accounts were managed on behalf of the Southern Poverty Law Center. So you have classic black and white bank fraud, if nothing else. And even if for some reason the indictment falls apart, this scandal needs to dog the SPLC for years because they were funding. I mean, there are in existence today, or there were in existence, Klan robes that were paid for by the Southern Poverty Law Center, and the SPLC also paid for a cross burning. I mean, this is the sort of thing the SPLC was propping up in some cases, the very hate it claims to oppose. And Americans need to know.
And Tyler, I maybe I'm going a step too far here, but I think an argument could be made that their fake, this phony race war narrative they were advancing actually led to President Trump's downfall in the 2020 election. I mean, they truly wanted to portray President Trump as the leader of all of this stuff.
They repeatedly, so year after year, and one of the reasons why they went after mainstream conservative and Christian groups, it wasn't just because they disagreed with them on policy, which, we can have debates on these things, but they also systematically defamed them. And if you look at the report that came out in 2020, you had President Trump's name all over their hate map, Year in Hate and Extremism report, which, this was ahead of the election, mind you. So the question of whether they were engaging in an attempt to affect the election is a big question in my mind.
All right. Well, Tyler, great reporting, and we know you're a busy guy. We appreciate you joining us this afternoon, and we just appreciate you guys bulldogging this story. We've got to get to the bottom of it, and great work, sir.
Thank you. Thanks again for having me.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler O'Neill with the Daily Signal, as they're all over this story. And he's not kidding, everybody. They came after even yours truly and tried to portray me as some sort of an anti-black, a racist, whatever you want to call it. Just unacceptable. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. Want to go to Memphis, Tennessee. We have Kurt listening to us on KWAM. Kurt, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Todd. How about yourself?
Kurt, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And we're going to try to help you win a copy of my brand new book. It's not going to be out for another, it's August 11th is the date, August the 11th. But you have a chance to win. We need you. Dylan, let's play the very first cut here so we can remind everybody of what we're talking about. There we go.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
All right, Kurt. Who in the world is that?
That would be Inspector Harry Callahan.
Yeah, that's it. We would have taken Dirty Harry, too, but yeah, Inspector Harry Callahan. By the way, Kurt, did you ever watch those?
The name of the movie actually was Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry, that's right. But do you know why they call him Dirty Harry? Do you know?
Like me.
Yeah, no, they call him Dirty Harry because he would always take the dirty jobs, and so he was always assigned those jobs nobody else wanted.
I've seen every one of those movies probably 100 times over.
Man, Kurt, so for some reason, I was talking about earlier, in my Instagram feed, I'm getting all these clips from the Clint Eastwood movies. So last night, I just went home and I watched Magnum, and then I fell asleep. I'm going to go back and rewatch the last half of the movie. But there's something about those old school movies of the 70s, early 70s. There's something about those great films.
Sure is. I love them.
Kurt, congratulations. We're going to put you on hold, and we're going to get your information. Congratulations. You've just won a copy of my new book. It's called The Golden Age, How Trump Saved America.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, Kurt. God bless you. God bless you, sir. All right. Good man right there. All right. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. Dylan, when you go back and watch some of those movies, you're just going to be shocked by the language, the behavior, the things that were actually allowed to be said in the movie theaters. That was sort of like the golden age of free speech back in the day.
That sounds really refreshing. So I'll have to do that.
Yeah, it's you got to start with Dirty Harry, the first one.
Okay.
And then work your way up. And then we'll talk about Steve McQueen.
Oh.
We'll educate you there, too.
I'm ready to be educated.
All right. 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
Making radio great again. The Todd Starnes Radio Show.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements. Changing the world one life at a time.
Thought, well, just for the heck of it, I'll try this Balance of Nature. But I thought, all right, I'll do it for 1 month, and then I can cancel. And so I ordered it for 1 month. I have told so many people about this stuff. They think I'm crazy. So for me to say I would continue to do it means it's got to be good.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Don't wait. Now's the time to take action. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
America has a new choice for fair and balanced news. ToddStarnes.com. Journalism you can trust from some of the best reporters and opinion writers in the business. ToddStarnes.com takes you to the front lines of the culture war, defending faith, freedom, and your family. ToddStarnes.com also features exclusive interviews with America's top newsmakers like Mike Huckabee, Franklin Graham, and Newt Gingrich. Find out why millions of Americans read ToddStarnes.com every day. It's news you can trust. ToddStarnes.com.
For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Patriot Mobile's all-U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT, code Todd.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code Todd to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Stearns Radio Show. I got to play this audio. This is our good buddy, Senator Jim Bakes out of Indiana. And he's talking about why 12-year-olds are being asked about their sexuality. Take a listen to Cut 33, please.
Kids have to be 18, or anyone has to be 18 before they can buy tobacco, 21 before you can buy alcohol, 16 before you can have a driver's license. How young are some children in America when they have a sex transition surgery?
Yeah, as we noted, we put together a database based on claims data, the Stop the Harm database, and noted almost 14,000 kids less than the age of 17 and a half, and many of those, again, young teenagers who had these hormonal interventions and procedures, over 5,700 surgeries. These are significant numbers when when we look at the number of children who've taken such medications. There is a study from the Journal of the American Medical Association that looks at a rate of 1.4 out of 1,000 girls by the time they're 18 that have taken some form of medication related to gender transition. That's the same as the rate of diabetes in the population, type 2 diabetes. So I think there's great concern in that regard.
Ms. Cole, how old were you?
I was 13 years old when they put me on the first interventions, and I was 15. I didn't even have a driver's license yet. I didn't even have my first relationship when I had surgery to remove my breasts.
Lifelong issues, as you noted, complications that you could have received. Mr. Minter, how young is it appropriate is it appropriate to talk to a child about sexuality? At what age? Is it appropriate at 12? Is that appropriate?
It is. I'm not sure what that has to do with the medical care we're
Answer my
talking
question.
about here.
Is it appropriate at 12 to
that
talk
is
to
a
a child about their
decision-
sexuality?
You know who that decision belongs to? Parents.
Is it appropriate for a teacher to talk to a child about issues of sexuality at the age of 12?
No.
Oh, jeez. So why are you doing it? That's what I want. I mean, it's a very simple question here. But again, it's we go through this every single year. It doesn't matter who's in political office, where you have all of these schools that are, cramming this agenda down the throats of boys and girls. But it's not just 12 years old now. We're talking about children. We talked about this yesterday with Sesame Street. Sesame Street designed for children ages 2 through 6. So why are you trying to groom a 2-year-old and teach them about, I don't know, gender neutrality, or was it gender queer, pansexual, all sorts of crazy stuff? It's just, it's beyond aggravating. This is criminal behavior we're talking about here. And this, again, is why it is so important that we go beyond President Trump's executive orders and actually codify these executive orders so that people can be held accountable for all of this. Because the fact of the matter is, if you were to just go out on the street and take what they're doing in the classroom and do that out on the street to a child, you would be arrested and you would be brought up on child sex crime charges. I mean, that's how bad this is. But because it's in a classroom, well, they give it the stamp of approval. Come on. All right, we got to wrap it up there, folks. Hey, ToddStarnes.com. Download our free podcast and our newsletter. You can do that over at the website tonight. 5 o'clock Eastern, we're going to be at Newsmax, so be sure to hang out with us. And then tomorrow, noon o'clock, right back here on the radio. Be good, America.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies and fiber and spice supplements. Our ingredients are 16 whole fruits, 15 whole vegetables, 4 powerful fibers, and 12 aromatic spices. It's one irresistible combo.
Oh, I have a friend, Julia, who has taken a Balance of Nature now for quite some time, and she said, "Oh, Becky, ask your doctor about taking Balance of Nature." So I talked to my doctor about it, and she said, "Oh, try it."
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Don't wait. Now's the time to take action. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a 70-year-old man. I'm not a young guy, and I'm an ex-athlete. Well, yeah, when I was taking it, I recognized that I was feeling better. You know what I'm saying? And just mentally knowing is important also.
I am a customer of you guys. I love your product. Love it, love it. Nothing but good things to say about your product. I love it. And as long as y'all are going to sell it, I'm going to take it as long as I can.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature.